In this video, we will be talking about the most hated NFL teams by state. There are some surprises on here, and some things don't surprise me that much. Washington, Alaska, and Montana, they all hate the San Francisco 49ers the most. The 49ers are really the biggest rival of the Seattle Seahawks based on geography. There was that wild card game in 2023 in January, very bitterly contested between the two. And really, it makes sense that Alaska and Montana would feed into Seattle's influence. Idaho must have two, and same for Oregon. I don't know. Maybe they do feed into San Francisco more. They hate the Rams the most. The Rams are another big rival of the Seahawks. They're also a big rival of the 49ers themselves. California, ill. Their most hated team is the Seahawks. They really have no choice. They either have to have their most hated team as the Seahawks or as the Cardinals. And I can see why the Seahawks are more of this prominent team than the Cardinals anyway. But it can't be the Rams or the 49ers as they both play in that state. And because of LA influence, that's also probably why the Seahawks are the most hated team in Hawaii. So, ill. I think I'm going to actually go outside and do the rest of the video outside because it's only getting colder and I have to take a walk in a little bit. I'm probably have to bundle up for that. Anyway, now that you'd excuse that. The most hated team in Nevada is the Los Angeles Chargers. It makes sense too. Think of the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders and the Chargers hate each other. The Raiders are the most hated team in a bunch of states. Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado, Wyoming. Because the Raiders are the most prominent rival of teams like the Denver Broncos. And stuff like that. And and the Chiefs. And Chiefs are going to cover Missouri and Kansas and Nebraska. Broncos, they cover Colorado and Wyoming. The Utah does hate the Chiefs the most, I guess. By that point, there are also a lot of Chargers fans mixing in with some Broncos fans. Arizona hates the Rams the most. Makes sense given how they're the Cardinals' biggest rival. It actually used to be the Seattle Seahawks. Now, my team, the Philadelphia Eagles, is the most hated in these four states. New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. They all feed into the Dallas Cowboys. All four states feed into the Dallas Cowboys, hence making their most hated team the Eagles, because the Eagles are the biggest rival of the Dallas Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys. Cowboys hate us. The Packers are also a pretty hated team. Look at all this green. The Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, Michigan. If you're in the NFC North, you hate each other, but you especially hate the Green Bay Packers. You really hate the Green Bay Packers. And so Minnesota, South Dakota, North Dakota all feed into the Minnesota Vikings. Iowa split between the Vikings and the Bears. And Michigan, you feed into the Lions, and they all hate the Packers. So who does Wisconsin hate the most? Because they can't hate all three the most. It is not the Detroit Lions. It is, I think, the Chicago Bears. No, but that's the Bears. Oh, no, yeah, it's the Bears. It's the Bears. Look, see, it's a bear. It's the Bears. They hate the Bears the most. Indiana hates the Patriots the most. The Colts are surprisingly intense with the Patriots. I was not expecting that. In Ohio and Kentucky, it's the Steelers. If you think about it, both the Browns and the Bengals hate the Steelers. And Cincinnati's influence will extend into Kentucky as well. Also, remember when I said it was nice outside? I don't think it's so nice anymore. It's 47. It's 47. Maybe I shouldn't have gone out barefoot. Anyway, so in case you're wondering about the Ravens, they are hated in Tennessee and West Virginia. Nashville, I'm not so sure of. I never thought of the Titans being rivals with the Ravens. I would have never thought that. And yeah, there is definitely the Baltimore Ravens. Oh, wait, nope, they do have a rivalry. Ravens-Titans. Rivalry. Oh, and it's an intense one, too. And West Virginia makes sense because they feed into the Pittsburgh Steelers while also being closer to Baltimore, so hating them the most. So those two teams make sense. In the South, it's consistently the Buccaneers. From Louisiana up through Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and the Carolinas, they all hate the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, ever since, Tom Brady, ever since Tom Brady took over, everyone's really been hating on the Buccaneers. People do not like Tom Brady at all. That's also how the Buccaneers replaced the Falcons as the most hated team in Louisiana in the NFL. Saints, Panthers, Falcons, they all really hate the Buccaneers more than each other. In Florida, they hate the Patriots the most. Makes sense because of how much the Dolphins hate them. In the Northeast, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, Vermont, they all hate the Cowboys. Whether or not you feed into the Commanders or the Eagles or the Giants, we all have the same common enemy of the Cowboys. I personally hate the Giants a lot more as an Eagles fan, but most Giants fans actually hate the Cowboys more. Finally, in Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island, they hate the Jets the most. The Jets are the biggest rival of the Patriots, and it largely goes again in the same shoes of Red Sox versus Yankees. That's why they would hate the Jets the most, even though it's not as prominent there. All right, the most hated NBA team. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit different. Because a lot of it is the Los Angeles Lakers. It's really either that or the Brooklyn Nets are also quite a hated team. This is from 2021, so we're going to use this because it's a pretty recent map. So California, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Alabama all hate the Celtics the most. I'm not so sure why Alabama in particular hates the Celtics, but the Celtics are big rivals with the Lakers, so that explains California, and with the 76ers, which would explain Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Alabama, I'm not so sure what's going on there. The Knicks are the most hated team in North Carolina and Georgia. Not so sure why those teams in particular have the strong rivalries with the Knicks. They're not exactly that close to the New York Knicks to really be that big rivals with them. Wisconsin and Michigan make sense why they would hate the Chicago Bulls the most. They're close nearby. The Bulls had Michael Jordan, so it makes sense why they would hate the Bulls the most. But New York hating the Bulls so much does not actually make as much sense to me. I wasn't aware of a rivalry with the Bulls or the Nets. With the Knicks or the Nets, rather. No, there's a fierce rivalry between the Bulls and the Knicks. So I guess that kind of makes sense. The Knicks are more popular in New York than the Nets anyway. The Brooklyn Nets, by the matter of fact, are a very hated team. I was surprised that Illinois would hate the Knicks. Would hate the Nets the most, concerned that the Knicks were their rival. It's also the case in Hawaii, Arkansas, Louisiana, Florida, South Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, Maine. They all hate the Nets the most, which is surprising. Then there's 4 more states that are worth discussing. Nevada, Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico all hate the, I think it's the Golden State Warriors. Yeah, Golden State Warriors. That makes kind of sense why they hate them, because the Warriors are their big rival. And pretty much everywhere else is the Los Angeles Lakers in every other state. So, yeah, 24 states, they're the most hated team. And then you have the Nets, who are the second most hated team. LeBron James is pretty controversial. So as far as the that's just the bit of the reason behind the NBA, you know. Now, I was trying to actually find the most hated NHL team by state, and I couldn't find one. The most hated NHL team by state. I found a lot of maps of the most loved NHL teams by state. I found one. And I don't know anything about hockey, so I can't read this map. Okay, so goodbye.